Hi, everybody. So, I'm going to do it really informal, okay? Yeah. Because I'm Jewish, for one. And I don't like being official, for another thing. So I'm just going to sit here with you guys. Okay. So, I'm really happy to be here. I've been working with Don for a really long time. I started out, probably some of you saw me like 35 years ago at Storefront Theater, and I've been working with Don for many, many years. And I love him a lot, and I respect him a lot, and I think I tell him all the time, he's the best and most underrated director in the city. Yes. When I came back from Los Angeles, I had just done my Sophie Tucker show, and I had worked at the Buckley School, the School for the Rich and Undeserving, for 6 years. Where I was Mrs. Larson, the theater director. And I came home and Donald called and he said, what have you been doing for 6 years? And I said, well, a lot. And he said, I want you to write a show. And so it was because of him I wrote my first show when I came back, called Recovering from Myself, which was a story about my journey in Los Angeles. Then Donald and I did the Kathy and Mo show, which was just the most fun in the world. Yes. And then, I did the Jewish American Princess show with Franny. And then Donald said, you know, it's always been my dream for you to do your one-woman show on Sophie Tucker. But he said, but first I have this script I want you to read. I want to see what you think. It's very heavy. It's heavy, Wendy, and you're going to have to work your tushy off. I taught him that word. He knows some Yiddish now, which I'm so proud. But anyway, we worked on Rose together, which was probably the most profound work I've ever done with a director, as well as the subject matter. It was a one-woman show about a Holocaust survivor, and then Donald and I took it to Palm Springs. It was very successful. It changed my life and touched the lives of many of the Holocaust survivors here in town, and Donald did that show, and nobody else would have touched it. And then he called me up and he said, Wendy, you have to do your Sophie Tucker show. It's my dream. I said, well, I've lost 137 pounds. What the hell am I supposed to do as Sophie Tucker? You're going to have to pad me or something. So he padded me, and I look like this sort of chicken with this suit. But nevertheless, it was very successful, and then Donald and I took it to Palm Springs, and we had the most wonderful time in Palm Springs ever. And so this year, I said, what's up? And he said, well, I want you to do a show that's called 25 Questions You Want to Ask a Jewish Mother. And I said, fabulous, that sounds like fun, because next year I'm going to write another original show with him. I won't work with anyone but Donald now. I said, I'm too old. I just like you. So anyway, this show was written by, I don't know how many of you guys know Judy Gold, but Judy Gold is a Jewish, actually she's a Jewish, lesbian, Orthodox comedian from New York. And she used to write a lot of Rosie O'Donnell's show. So anyway, she wrote a show, and it's called 25 Questions You Want to Ask a Jewish Mother, right? So I'm going to just read you just a little bit. Let's see. The show was written by comedian blah blah blah. It took her 5 years. He says it's funny and heartfelt and very Jewish. Duh. And also, it's taking place in February, which is not a Jewish month, because believe me, I have checked. So I'll just read you a little about what Judy says. So it's Judy and then all the Jewish moms. So she does it as a stand-up, okay? So this is Judy talking at a mic, very stand-up-y. She's tall and very, very funny. So I live in a great neighborhood on the Upper West Side. I know all my neighbors. The next door neighbor's name is Marjorie. She's the godmother to my kids. Every time I leave my apartment, my mother thinks that something bad will happen to me. One day I leave my apartment and I go to my agent's office. I call my mother on the phone because it was free. Now this is before they had cell phones. So we're talking. Now accidentally, my elbow hit the phone. We got disconnected. right in the middle of the conversation. And I didn't call her back immediately. I neglected to tell her that I was at my agent's office when I called. Now she thinks that something happened to me in my apartment, and that's why I didn't call her back right away. Now this is the message that she left. It's an absolutely true message from my mother. It's a real message, verbatim. Judith, are you all right? Did you fall down? What happened? Where are you? I'm a wreck. I don't understand. Maybe I'll call Marjorie and tell her to go over and find out what happened. Judith, where are you? Okay, here's the clincher. You ready? So long! What's with the so long at the end of the message? Now, my mother, mind you, she thinks that Jeffrey Dahmer has chopped my body up in a million pieces, has a little nosh, and then says, so long? Don't get me wrong. I love my mother. I just don't want to become her. Thank you. So that's just a little taste of the show. I hope you come and see it. I think it's going to be wonderful. Lots of fun. And there's a lot of love in the show. There's also a lot of pathos, because with my people, there's always dark and light. Have a wonderful, wonderful season with Triangle Productions. And enjoy your time at this theater. It's a wonderful place. Thanks so much for being here.